Hello, everybody. My name is Adrian Nixon. I'm the editor of the Nixene Journal. And today we're talking to Dr. Vivek Koncherry. He's one of the very smart, how do I describe you, Vivek? As well as being a researcher, an impact fellow at the University of Manchester, you've got a PhD in materials science and composites. And you've been at the university probably for what, over 20 years, something like that?
Yeah.
And then you also invent things. You've started up 2 new companies and you just can't stop inventing. So today we're going to be talking about just one of your inventions, which is the Space Blue Company and the Space Mat. But before we do that, could you just tell us a little bit more about yourself and also the lab that you work in?
Oh, yeah, of course. I love to show everybody the lab first,
Yes, please. Let's have a look.
It's a cool robotics lab. It's in the basement of University of Manchester building. It's lots of cool stuffs are made here. Anything is possible in this lab, There's no limit to what we can do.
And when you spun the video around, then I did see a graphene suitcase, did I?
Yeah. I mean, I like making finished products. Like generally, like a lot of scientists generally make small Cooper. But graphene suitcase, in fact, started this. I was thinking one day I want to make not just coupon, something commercial, what people can use it. In Harrods, in London, I saw a suitcase worth like £5,000 with carbon fiber. I thought we can make it better with even graphene inside that, better impact damage properties and stuff. So I made a carbon fiber with graphene composite suitcase, just in the lab here.
Goodness, can we just have a look at that then? Just very briefly. We're not here to talk about the graphene suitcase. Yeah, that one there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
one with a little logo on it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the world's first graphene suitcases. Was that made from recycled plastic?
This is not recycled plastic, but it got graphene and carbon fiber with epoxy resin in it.
Goodness. Well, we could spend a whole video just talking about that one, but we'd better park that for a minute because we're here to talk about your work with waste rubber and tires.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the waste tire problem?
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, I was reading some of the news articles by Guardian and Reuters regarding the waste tire problem. Actually, it's not just a UK problem, it's a global problem. In the globe, around 1.5 billion waste tires are generated every year. Just to take UK, every day 100,000 tires comes off in the UK.
Every day?
Every single day. And and these are being shipped abroad to countries like India. It goes there for recycling, but in environmental regulation in some countries are not very strong. So most of the time it gets burned in those places.
No.
And, yeah, it's a serious problem. And it's not just UK or India problem. An example, in Kuwait, they start putting a waste tire in the desert. And the problem is now there are several million tires and it can be seen from space. So it's a massive global problem.
So let me just stop you there for a minute. So when we recycle our tires, or we think we're recycling our tires, particularly in the UK, but other countries as well, we send them off to people who recycle them for us. And some people will just burn them and other people will just dump them in the desert. Yeah. And that pile is so big it can be seen from space.
Exactly.
That is incredible. So it's quite a big problem, and 100,000 tires each day in the UK alone.
Exactly.
So why can't they be recycled?
The problem in recycling is, it's mostly cost effective to burn it or put in the desert. But it's that, and when you recycle any material, the problem is performance drop.
Yeah,
you will get very, it's always about a compromise. When I buy something recycled, I'm compromising for sustainability or for the nature. That is where we have a new material that can make a difference, and that's graphene.
So how are you using this? Can you tell us any secrets?
A little bit, yes. When we add a tiny amount of graphene into the recycling process for waste tire, you can enhance its properties several times. An example, we tested Space Mat, which is the first product. This is it's made with waste car tire and graphene. We also got a small amount of natural rubber as well inside this. So we tested this again, other mats in the market, and we are like 5 times better in strength, and it stretches more as well with a tiny amount of graphene. We are talking fraction of percentages here.
Yeah.
So a small amount of graphene can make a massive difference in the recycling process. All of a sudden, waste tire, we call it today, is a valuable raw material for the next product. An example, for the floor mat, it's a valuable raw material. Like graphene, we can almost consider it as like a virgin material now.
Oh. So instead of recycling, you're now upcycling. Fascinating. Can we have another look at that mat, Vivek? Because I've seen recycled rubber mats before, and when you hold them, they break off. The crumb comes apart.
Exactly.
That looks as though it's holding together really well.
Exactly. I mean, once rubber in a tire, it's already cross-linked. Yep. So in our case, we are mechanically chopping it down into very fine powders, and then we are adding natural rubber into the process. Yep. And there the graphene can make a difference, because once cross-linked, it doesn't make big difference, even if you add graphene into that. Yep. But with natural rubber part, we can make it much stronger. So normally you see edges falling off with a very small amount of compression loading. But in our case, graphene, in fact, make it stretch more, and it's even stronger, so the particles don't come off like the traditional recycled materials.
And it works as well, because I've been into the Graphene Engineering Innovation Centre, the GEEK, next door to where you are. Yeah. And there's some of your mats on the floor, and people have been walking over them for months, and they look as good as new.
Yeah, and now like I started selling 12 months ago, like a small number. I brought like around 200, made around 200 mats, sold it last year in November. As of till today, I got zero quality complaint. Zero, absolutely zero. I sold all 200, just now made 3,000 units, start selling 3,000 units. But till today, I got zero quality complaint. Some people told me they want different sizes and different shapes. That's different, not the material part.
So as well as an academic, you are now a successful entrepreneur and a successful businessman making a successful product. Well done.
To be honest, I mean, I knew you for very long, and you're always an encouragement, and GEEK, Graphene Engineering Innovation Center, they were with me from the beginning. They were very supportive of the whole development. They encourage, especially sustainable developments and stuff. It's quite easy to get fundings as well, like an example, bridging the gap funding for a small startup, because sometimes when we think of a massive research center, generally the public perception is they don't work with small companies. To be honest, that's not true anymore. They work with large corporations. At the same time, really small startups can get bridging the gap funding. So all of a sudden, if somebody have a business idea locally, or they can approach the GEEK and ask for what are the funding opportunities, and they have a team of people to help these people. So they don't even need to, do the whole paperwork, and there are people to support the startup, small people.
And it's worked for you. So just to remind everybody, the product is called Space Mat.
Yes.
And the company is Space Blue, and you're the chief executive of that.
Yeah.
And what are the plans for the future now?
An example, this mat, actually, I made it in India. I'm currently working on to get some investment as well to bring the manufacturing process to the UK, because long term, we don't want to ship the waste tires to some country and make it and bring it back. We want to make it in the UK. There are challenges to it. An example, a manufacturing process that worked in India may not work here because of the cost of manufacturing. Through the GEEK, we are working on cost-effective manufacturing process as well. We really need to bring the manufacturing to the UK and stop shipping waste abroad. We are working on it at the minute.
And as well as the UK, this could be applied worldwide as well.
Exactly. I mean, what we learned from coronavirus pandemic and the international supply chain problem, we can't depend internationally for everything. We need to have local manufacturing for the local market. In the future, we will make in the United States for the US market using the US waste tire, or in the UK using UK waste tire for the UK market. So it's local manufacturing for the local market. So in this way, we can reduce the global supply chain risk in the case of pandemic, or now the cost of shipping is also going off the roof. It's going really high. When I was working for the initial container, The 120-foot container used to cost 700 pounds. Now it's already 3,500 pounds for the same container in like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
In fact, it's going higher.
Yeah.
So sooner or later, it will not be viable to make in abroad and bring it here. So we need to manufacture locally. That's the only way forward. You know?
And you're looking for people to work with and invest in your company as well.
Exactly. I mean, people with similar ideas and similar visions are so important. I mean, there are many investors, but we want somebody who care for the planet and care for the people, and manufacture the same vision need to be aligned, I would say.
I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who are sitting up and taking a lot of notice of you, Vivek. For now, Dr. Vivek Koncherry, thank you very much for your time. It's been a delight talking to you.